Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. Hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. Well, today we bring a topic that affects millions of people all over the world, diabetes type 1. Most of us think that diabetes type 1 is genetic. Well, we're going to find out that's if it is genetic, and then how do you prevent it? Talking about this topic, we have an eminent professor, Dr. Sadeghi. Dr. Sadeghi is a medical doctor, and he's founded his own institution, an academy of homeopathy in Tehran, which he's been running for the last 30 years. So medical doctor with holistic inclination. We love that combination, and because it endorses what we are trying to do. So welcome so much, Dr. Sadeghi.
Thank you very much, my dear friend and colleague, Ms. Amita. I'm Dr. Sadeghi from Tehran, Iran. I'm honored to take part in this interview with you. And I'm very glad that many people all over the world can just listen to this interview. Tonight, I'm going to talk about how to prevent diabetes type 1. Some people may think that it is not preventable, but I have studied for about 14 years in this field, and I have accepted many diabetic type 1 patients at my own clinic in Tehran and also online. For example, I had a patient from Minnesota, America, USA, and I had a patient from Canada, one of my colleagues who was homeopath, and he just asked me to help him out of his condition. Anyway, as you know, and my dear colleague said to you, millions of people are affected by type 1 diabetes. 1 out of 10 people are diabetics right now in the world. That means 800 million people. And about 10% of these people are affected by type 1 diabetes mellitus. Type 1 diabetes mellitus, once known as juvenile diabetes or insulin-dependent diabetes, is a chronic condition. In this condition, the pancreas makes little or no insulin. Insulin is a hormone the body uses to allow sugar or glucose to enter cells to produce energy. Different factors such as genetics, some viruses, and other environmental factors may cause type 1 diabetes, although it usually appears during childhood and adolescence. It can develop in adults as well. The 2 main peaks in the occurrence are in childhood, in children between 4 and 7 years old. And the second peak is in children between 10 to 14 years old. Even after a lot of research, type 1 diabetes has no complete cure. However, homeopathic remedies that I have used for my patients and my other colleagues in other parts of the world, for example, in Netherlands, there's a colleague, a lady who is homeopath, and he confirmed that he has seen positive changes in type 1 diabetic patient after prescribing homeopathic remedies. I sent an article to Zurich about 3 years ago, and I was just invited to Zurich to talk about how to do a secondary prevention. I mean, how to treat type 1 diabetic patients. But unfortunately, due to COVID-19 that just was announced pandemic, it was canceled. Anyway, about 80% of my patients, of my type 1 diabetic patients had become better and had improved by the remedies that I prescribed for them. But that was secondary prevention. I am talking about primary prevention. I have decided to promote a primary prevention via prescribing homeopathic constitutional remedies for fathers and mothers before deciding to have babies. You know, before they decide to have a child, to have a baby, homeopathic remedies can be prescribed by a skillful homeopath all over the world. This can be all over the world by my colleagues, not only just by me. And I have very good colleagues in many countries, fortunately. Okay. And also, I can do this for the family of type 1 diabetic patients. As you know, family of type 1 diabetic patients and their siblings are prone to diabetes type 1. As I said, it has a genetic background, not in all patients, but in a part, in a large population of these people, genetic is important and has been found effective. So by doing this, we can prevent it by homeopathic remedies. Before being afflicted by type 1 diabetes, homeopathy can create balance in people's defense mechanisms and their vital forces that are responsible and manage, that are responsible to govern and manage all these mechanisms automatically and precisely. There is a very important difference between conventional medicine and homeopathy. What is it? It is that homeopathy believes in vital force, but conventional medicine does not believe in a vital force that we just believe. They say that there are some defense mechanisms, but these defense mechanisms all are governed by a powerful vital force. That when a person dies, this vital force gets out of his body and everything just finishes. It is a spirit-like just being. Vital force is very important. It just manages all our activities in our bodies. It is just like our spirit. And in Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, as you know, has organon of medicine. Organon of medicine. In organon of medicine, he says that we can say vital force, we can call vital force principle of life. Principle of life. Okay, they are the same. My second strategy is lifestyle changes, including following a vegetarian diet, correcting sleep hours, meditation, daily exercise, and laughter. You know, laughter and happiness is very important in our health. And we believe that a happy person is a healthy person. So these acts and procedures raise their frequencies, vibes, and energies that balance their defense mechanisms, not to let an internal conflict to occur in their children and also adults, preventing autoimmune reactions that lead to produce autoantibodies, targeting pancreatic beta cells that are responsible to secrete insulin. So when we create a balance in parents and in siblings of those who are connected to just type 1 diabetic patient and to all people before marriage and even before marriage and before having a baby, we can do a very nice prevention of primary kind, primary prevention. Thank you very much.
All right. So I do want to say that you said vegetarian diet, happiness. So it's the same thing for diabetes type 2, right? That is the same thing. I mean,
yeah,
the
same.
prevention technique, diabetes type 1 and diabetes type 2 are similar. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
You want to elaborate a little on type of homeopathic remedies that you use for diabetes type 1 as opposed to diabetes type 2, so that, because you talked a lot about homeopathy, but I do want us to understand a little bit deeper the difference of homeopathy remedies for type 1 or type 2, any common ones or anything that you can shed a little bit more light on.
Yeah. As you know, in diabetes type 2, if they choose correct, I'm talking about secondary prevention. If you mean secondary prevention, that is treatment. Do you mean secondary prevention or primary prevention?
Yeah. Whatever you like to do for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, secondary prevention is easier in type 2 diabetic patients because if they follow a correct diet, as I have suggested, vegetarian diet, and they have daily exercise, they do meditation or do prayers, and they just bring about for themselves happiness and laughter. Besides homeopathy, they can get rid of diabetes forever easier than those who are affected by type 1 diabetes mellitus, that is insulin dependent. In insulin dependent patients, I have experienced a partial cure, not complete cure yet, Partial cure is possible, and I have observed many patients, about 80% of my type 1 diabetic patients have been cured partially. As far as they get remedies, homeopathic remedies, their insulin level is higher, and they need less insulin daily, insulin injections daily.
Okay, so that's a big plus. I mean, the whole idea is that because they have to inject insulin, I can't even imagine all the people who are suffering. It's very painful. So with the holistic medicine of using homeopathic remedies, the insulin injection amount goes down, and if they also add on like vegetarian diet, some of the lifestyle modifications that are pretty much a holistic lifestyle, then that can be a little bit better for them to manage their diabetes. That's what I'm understanding, right?
Yeah. I can add just a point that I have read about some type 1 diabetic patients who have get rid of insulin dependent or type 1 diabetes by having a vegetarian based diet and having good daily exercise. In two cases, and it is just possible that it occurs that your body as you know, a person who's got type 1 diabetes mellitus, he's got a conflict in his body. Autoimmune, it is an autoimmune reaction that our own immune system secretes autoantibodies, and they target our beta cells that secrete insulin. And if we end this conflict by homeopathic remedies and a very good and strict diet and proper diet, vegetarian diet, and daily exercise, laughter, and moral support, spiritual support, he may or she may even get rid of this bad and very deep, with deep pathology condition.
Okay, so that's very promising. I mean, it's a combining the homeopathy and combining the lifestyle modification. You have seen very positive results, and there's a lot of hope for all the people who are suffering from diabetes type 1 to at least help reduce their medication a little bit with the help of incorporating or embracing the holistic lifestyle, which we've been advocating for the last 1 year. So thank you so much, Dr. Sadeghi, again, for joining us. To all the people, keep supporting us. We are almost at 255,000 followers, which I had not even thought that we will ever reach. And a lot of organic people are sharing our content with each other. So keep supporting us. We're coming up with that app. Our app is coming, which is going to be affordable for you to learn about from all over the world, holistic experts. So keep supporting and have a great week, everyone. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sadeghi.